On lake docks and decks, this is what lakeside living is all about. But the Clark family are not happy with their dock.
More space width-wise is definitely what we need.
And that's not the only thing on their wish list.
We talked about also possibly maybe a fire pit out there.
It's my job to build them a dock that will give them the life they dream of.
Oh, my goodness.
Look how big it is.
I'm Simon Hirsh, and for 23 years, I've been creating docks and decks in Lake Country. Back towards you. Today, I'm going to visit the Clarks at their cabin and boathouse.
My family's had a cabin at the lake for as long as I can remember, so it made sense to move up here permanently.
We wanted a place for them to be able to run around and, lots of trees instead of concrete. It is perfect. We love living up here. It's, we don't have to sit in the traffic, and we get to get the paddleboard out whenever we want and get the fishing boat out and just go for a fish. At the end of the day, Chris will come home from work and we will say, oh, the water's calm, let's go for a wakeboard, or, it's windy out, let's go kiteboarding.
Anytime you're waking up and this is the view that you have at the lake, it's completely unbeatable.
I love raising my kids up here. It's so much more relaxed and easygoing and calm. Just more of a sense of imagination, I find. And, they can go up into the woods and build forts and run around, and we don't have to be worried about them.
I just find there's so much more for them to do up here. It's
Outside.
fresher air. Then in the wintertime, the lake's frozen, you're skating on the lake.
Snowmobiling.
Snowmobiling on the lake. It really is a slice of heaven.
Yeah,
so.
it's a wonderland up here. It's paradise.
As the kids are getting older, as we're entertaining more, we're just definitely in need of more space. The dock is very long, but I think being able to extend it to get more sunlight on it would be nice. Typically for like a regular family dinner, you could have 12 to 14 people pretty easily and then add a kids table into it. So
Yeah, more space width-wise is definitely what we need.
I'd want as big a deck as possible, other places for other boats to be able to tie up to.
So if we had more space on the dock, then we wouldn't all be crowded into one area, and the kids could be on one end, and then we could be getting the table set for dinner or sitting on some extra chairs without getting splashed as the kids run by you.
Chris and Melissa definitely need my help, and I'm excited to get started.
Wow, this is an amazing view. What more could you need out here?
More space.
When you're fitting friends and family on here, it's not wide enough, and so people are, squishing past other people, and we don't want people to fall in, and, kids running around, jumping in. Just a little bit wider for sure would make it possible to enjoy the space a little bit better.
Right, right. Anything else in the wish list?
We lose sunlight early afternoon, so our sunsets are gone. If we're out further, we're being able to get beautiful sunsets.
Right, right. So the sun sets behind the boathouse here,
Yep.
and you get shade here for the afternoon.
Yep.
All right. In a perfect world, how would your day at the dock, how would you like it to be?
I would love to come down here with a coffee and have breakfast down here even. I'd honestly love to have all of my meals down here and spend the entire day, swimming in the lake and coming out and tanning and having some food. It would be nice to have a bonfire out here. I mean,
Right?
that's why we're at the lake again, right?
Is that even something that's possible?
Well, let me try to put some ideas together and see what we can come up with.
Excellent.
Okay. Chris and Melissa really want to spend a lot of their time down here at the dock. My challenge here is really to extend this dock space. We do have some problems, though. My biggest problem is the water levels. The water levels are extremely high all over Lake Country right now. We've had a lot of rain. So the only way that I can build these docks is to weld a steel frame. But the support beams have to be at a certain height, which is underwater in this situation.
And I don't have the equipment for underwater welding. Plus, it's incredibly expensive.
Putting a step in the middle of the dock will not work. They'll be anxious to jump in the water and they'll trip, or someone will step off it with a tray of food or drinks. So the step isn't an option. So I've really got to figure out a way to keep this dock level with the original dock and still be able to build it. I don't know why I went ahead and just told them won't be a problem, because it is a problem. I'm just gonna have to figure out a way to do it.
Come hell or high water, I'm gonna build a massive new dock for the Clarks that will give them 4 times as much space for entertaining and extend far enough so that they can get all-day sun and a sunset in the evening. And to make sure they can stay here all night too, I'm gonna put a fire pit on this dock so the kids can roast marshmallows right out on the lake. We've got a $28,000 budget and 2 weeks to build this. It's time to get started.
Today's the first day of work at Chris and Melissa's boathouse. We're rolling in here. We have all our steel on the barge. We're gonna pull up in front and start laying out the location of all the piles and start building this dock. It's looking good, Dan. What they want to do is keep this faded color this color and then start the new one in a straight line. So instead of, stitching it in,
Yep.
we're just gonna basically build straight off this thing. So we're gonna need a nailer along the edge of some sort here.
Yep.
For you to connect the next piece of decking to. More what I'm concerned about now, again, is our dock height, right? So
Yep.
the water level's still really high.
Oh, yeah.
So how much of a weld are we gonna be able to get on our crosser now?
By the time we get our piles in, hopefully the water cooperates, goes down, and we'll get an inch of weld across the top just to hold it.
Right.
And
Then weld it out after as the
weld
water
it
level?
as the
comes
water
down?
goes down.
Okay.
Hopefully it cooperates and goes down, but that's all we can do for now.
Yeah, well, just pray it doesn't rain again,
Oh,
although it's not
man.
looking too good.
No.
And if you can get it tacked on top and we can keep building, then I'm okay with it.
Okay.
But we will have to come back around before we deck it and get the rest of that weld in.
Sounds good.
We're creating a solid steel frame for this dock by pounding steel piles down into the lake bed, through 30 feet of water and mud until they hit the bedrock. Once we weld the cross beams between them, they'll be rock solid. But with the water level this high, the weld points are underwater. All we can do is cross our fingers and hope the water level drops so we can finish the job. And unless that happens fast, we don't have a hope of completing this construction in 2 weeks.
So we're just finishing the first pile. It's taken a long time, a lot of prep work with every single pile. We've got 12 of them to do. We'll get maybe one more in today. So you can see it's gonna take days to get this done.
So once all the piles are driven, we can start welding in the cross braces or the crossers. Now, the problem on this location is that the water level is so high. If the water level doesn't drop, we won't be able to weld the crossers, and this project will not be able to move forward.
The Clarks want to make their dock bigger and wider for entertaining their family and friends. I'm building them a huge 750 square foot dock with a stone fire pit. We're driving in the piles that form the base of the steel frame, but it's slow progress.
Because the bedrock's uneven, the piles are all different lengths. First, we have to go through 13 feet of water and then drive through another 17 feet of mud to hit bedrock. Our original timeline on this dock was 2 weeks. Now, after we've driven in 12 piles, we've had to stop and wait an entire month for the water levels to drop so we can weld in the cross beams. Finally, they've dropped and we can get moving again.
With 12 steel piles, 6 steel cross beams, and 8 steel joists across them, we've got a seriously heavy-duty frame to put our decking on.
What I'm doing right now is setting down the wood sleepers so that we can connect our decking to the steel frame. We've also welded in this whole steel plate area, which is going to be our fire pit. Now, we had to do that area in steel so it didn't catch on fire when we lit a fire. After this, the guys will pour concrete on here and we'll be able to set some stone in place. But right now, we have to install all these wood sleepers. So we have to pre-drill every single piece of wood, every single piece of steel, and then install these non-corrosive fasteners in to secure the wood frame to the dock. This helps a lot if water levels go high and the water's pushing up on the deck boards. These will hold it in place so it doesn't get lifted off. So what I'm trying to do here is lay out to install some of these wood nailers. Now these allow us to put wood on the side of the dock. We need to put wood on the side of the dock to not only make it look nice, it's called the dock fascia. When you bring your boat in, you don't hit the rough steel. But also, we need a piece of wood to come up a little higher than this metal plate so we can pour the concrete in the base here to support the stone. So we're using this wood frame as the forming for the concrete pad.
Pouring concrete is a tricky job, and doing it on open water means that the whole thing is a crazy balancing act. My guys have to work hard and fast to get it done. We're using a straight edge 2x10 to level the concrete, and then we need to let it cure. And keep our fingers crossed that a rogue wave or a rainstorm doesn't wash away all this hard work before the concrete sets. Now that the concrete foundation is cured, it's time to lay in the flagstones. This is an insanely elaborate structure for a dock, but we're playing with fire here.
This is a steel base with 2 inches of concrete built on top, another ½ inch of flagstone. There's no way the fire is going to get to the wood dock. I'm mixing fire, water, wood, and the Clark family. I can't be too careful.
We've lost a whole month waiting for the water levels to lower, so it's time to put all hands on deck. While the flagstones are going down, I've got my guys laying the cedar decking boards on the rest of the dock, and I'm heading out to pick up something special for this project.
So I'm trying to get something that is fun, it's adrenalizing, I've got some good ideas.
A rainy summer delayed our schedule for a whole month, and this project was only supposed to take 2 weeks. Time is money, so we're going full out to catch up and stay on budget.
I really want to come up with something special for Chris and Melissa and their family. So I know they're going to love the fire pit. That's fantastic. The kids will get a kick out of it, but you know, daytime fun, kids want excitement. They want something a little more adrenalizing. And I think their kids are a lot like mine. They really like to get out there. So I'm trying to get something that is fun, it's adrenalizing, but still safe. And something that really lets, you know, Chris and Melissa sit on the dock and relax while the kids have fun. I've got some good ideas. This really caught my eye.
Shopping for toys?
Always more toys, but this is for a family. They've got some really high energy little kids, and this just may be the ticket. So it's basically a catapult, is it?
Absolutely.
And adults can use it too,
Adults
everybody?
can use it. This thing is awesome. You can launch your kids like 10 feet in the air. You can launch your wife into the water.
Oh,
no one
fantastic.
stays dry on it. You're definitely gonna want this to add to the trampoline.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Something high energy and real adrenaline filling, but still safe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you should probably get on it because this is our last one.
Let's take it.
Done,
Great.
done.
Okay. Hey guys, how's it going?
Great.
Looking great.
Thank you.
Fantastic. It's drying pretty quick though in the sun, isn't it?
The sun's helping.
Fantastic. Excellent. So we're just setting in the final stones here. There was a lot of steps to get Chris and Melissa their fire pit here. They wanted this idea. They weren't sure how we could do it. We figured out a great way to do it, but we had to lay steel down. We had to do a concrete pad. Now we're doing a mortar bed and finally setting the stones. After this, we're gonna grout it all in. It's gonna look perfect. This has to be done, otherwise we're gonna light the dock on fire. So none of that heat transfer, none of those sparks can get on the wood. So this area, 10 by 10 feet, gives us enough room to put a nice fire pit in the middle and have no risk of a fire.
Getting the surfaces right on a dock project is key. The Clarks will never see the steel structure underneath their dock, but they have to live with the decking boards and flagstones day in and day out. Every board and every stone has to be perfect if I'm going to put my name on this job. So my guys have to be meticulous and fast because we are still struggling to make up the time we lost at the start of construction.
Since Chris and Melissa's boathouse was first built, the water levels have been rising over the years. I thought we were gonna have to build this dock about 6 inches higher just to get our weld lines above the water level. But luckily they dropped just in time for us to weld out the frame. So now I've been able to avoid having a step here. That would have been a real hazard. You would have walked out of the doors, looked out at the lake, boom, tripped right there. So luckily it all worked out great, and we've got a nice level transition onto the new dock.
While my guys finish up a few more boards, I'm heading back to my lumberyard to work on a final project.
I love to surprise my clients with handmade finishing touches. Melissa said she wants a nice spot for morning coffee. I've crafted this massive 500-pound log bench. It's a permanent fixture on the dock. It can withstand all weather. Great place to sit.
I'm happy with the way this project is coming together, but the real test is what the clients think. I can't wait to show the Clarks their new dock, and I think they're gonna love it.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness.
At the beginning of this job, it seemed impossible to deliver what these clients wanted, which was a level extension of the narrow dock. The water levels were just too high, so there was no way we could weld the steel structure.
1 month later, and our 2-week timeline has been extended to 6 weeks, but we have come in on budget at $28,000.
This is the part of the job that I love, seeing the clients' faces when they see the completed project. I can't wait to show Chris and Melissa their new dock. So are you guys ready to see this?
We're ready.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness.
Look how big it is.
Oh
We've
my
added
goodness.
about 4 times as much dock space here. You've got all the things you were looking for. You've got lots of different areas to live and enjoy your space out here. And look, you've got sun. We've got
Yes. Oh.
tons of sun out here. We've managed to do this without any step at all, which is great. No trip
That's
hazard
awesome.
here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, we've got lots of different areas you can use out here on this dock, and one of the areas is kind of a surprise. I like to call it the indestructible recreation area. So why don't I let you
Nice.
see it?
So cool.
Wow. Why do you call it the indestructible area?
Well, it's kind of a unique bench, sort of lounging area, and it's indestructible in the sense that it weighs about 500 pounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks pretty heavy.
These logs are huge, so this is not gonna blow off your dock. The kids can climb on it, they can spill on it. It's a great area to sit. I thought it lets you look out at the rest of the dock. It's all made out of cedar, so it's naturally impervious to rot and insects.
So it can stay out here the whole time. I don't have to move 500 pounds or...
No, I mean, I'm sure you could do it, but, you know, like,
Excellent, no.
the idea is you can just let it be and let it
that's
weather.
perfect.
I'm glad you love this space so much, but we've got another area which was essential to your life at the dock, and that's your dining area.
Nice.
Excellent, yeah.
We'll take a look.
All right.
Wow, this is amazing.
This is awesome. Wow.
Beautiful, open, sunny
Yeah.
space, a lot of square footage. We've really, like we said, extended this dock. It's 4 times as big as it was before.
And this is really what we were
That's what we
wanting, is
wanted.
to be able to live down here and spend our whole day here. So this completes it. When I went through those doors and I saw that huge open space, I was blown away at just how much space there was. And, you know, there was the different areas, but there's still so much space around there, so it wasn't crowded at all. And if we wanted to, like for the dining room area, if we wanted to make that even bigger, we could, but it's so nice and intimate the way it is already.
I've got another big surprise for you guys. You ready to see it?
Yep.
All right, let's take a look.
What? Is that a fire pit?
You got me the fire pit that I was dreaming of. I cannot believe this.
We managed to mix fire and water, yes. So it was quite a challenge to get this in here, but
Wow,
this is
Simon.
safe. You can have your fires, you can enjoy the sunset.
So like these are solid rocks?
This is real stone, set in concrete, set on top of steel. So there's
wow.
no wood underneath the fire pit area.
This is way better than I imagined. I can't believe we get a fire pit out on our dock.
On the dock, where the sun will be for the most part of the day, and we get to just enjoy it. Yeah, come out here, roast some marshmallows with the kids. This is amazing.
I thought the challenge of this was going to be a little bit too much. Simon, incredible.
Yeah, thank you so
Absolutely
much.
incredible.
I'm speechless.
And if you look out there, you'll see.
Oh my goodness.
That's incredible.
A trampoline, a
wow.
water trampoline.
Oh, I can see Tessa and Ben just wrestling and
Yeah.
jumping off.
I love seeing that happy reaction, that excitement. Like they're eager to get out there and enjoy it with their families. Creating these sort of fun spaces, it's even though sometimes it seems like it's for the kids, it's for the adults too, because it allows you to play with your kids and kind of be a kid again. So that's why I love doing this. This is about fun.
Simon and his crew absolutely blew us away with what they were able to give us. We can't thank them enough, so thank you so much, Simon.
For the memories that we're going to be making, our family is going to love it, and even our extended family and friends, they'll be coming up and using it as well, and we just can't wait to share that with everyone.